Hello and welcome, my Aries friends. This is Jennifer from Mystic Star. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. This is going to be a group reading for the October Mercury Retrograde for my Aries friends. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like we just finished Mercury Retrograde and here we are again. So I'm not going to really get into Mercury Retrograde. There's a lot of great websites out there that'll explain it more scientifically in depth than I can. I'm going to highlight some of the important factors though. Things that we're really going to be faced with over the next 3 weeks. I'm also going to look at some of the strategies, those coping strategies that can help us overcome the communication blocks and miscommunications, those interpersonal skills that are going to be tested to the nth degree over the next 3 weeks. And that's what we're going to look at in this reading. We can't control how Mercury retrograde will affect things. However, we can try and control and curb our responses. So the deck I chose for this reading is Tarot de la Nuit. And then I'll be ending off the session with an oracle blessing from the Oracle of the Shapeshifters. Like always, there is links below to both these fantastic decks, so should they speak to you, you can go check them out for yourselves. Alright, my Aries friends, let's see what the cards have to say today. What card symbolizes my Aries friends over October's Mercury retrograde? The Wheel of Fortune. It's the 10th card in the Major Arcana, and it speaks about change. Change is really never easy, however, it is necessary. So over the next 3 weeks, you're going to see some personal development and evolution. The wheel talks about that natural change, those ongoing movements and seasonal changes that we have and experience. And that's kind of what we're looking at, is that's progression. And that's what I'm getting more of from the wheel today, is that we're looking at that progression. It's a natural evolution. You're not going to stop during Mercury retrograde. It's going to keep going. There's going to be challenges to it. However, you're going to keep going. Let's look at these challenges. Oh, we have jumpers before I get the question out of my mouth. What challenges will my Aries friends face over the first week of Mercury retrograde? Okay, so we get the one jumper. And that's the King of Cups. Kings are that most fully developed personality of the suit. And Cups are about that emotion, that intuition. The first week of Mercury retrograde, you're going to see a big challenge, not only with your emotions, but with your intuition. What steps you've made over the last couple of months, that evolution that we're talking about here, is going to be slowed to a snail's crawl to a stall. Mercury retrograde is really going to impact your ability to connect in with yourself, connect in with others, and your emotions are going to run rampant. All right, on that fantastic note, let's look at what the second week is going to bring my Aries friends. The Ace of Pentacles. We're getting out of emotion and we're getting into that growth and abundance piece. Things that you think that are going to be a good idea, or that people say, oh, this is fantastic, you should try this, won't be as fantastic as you'd hoped. They may work for that person, however, it may not and probably will not work for you. Don't sink in a lot of money into ideas in the second week of Mercury retrograde. And that will be into the second week in November. I believe Mercury retrograde is this week till the third week in November. So the second week, stay away from investing into one idea or into an idea that week. Hold off on it. If it's that good of an idea, it can wait till another week into November. look at the third week. Just the third week and final week of Mercury retrograde. What challenges will my Aries friends face? Well, you guys are really having some great cards here. Death. It's the 13th card in the Major Arcana. The final week, death is really going to kick in. It's not going to be a confrontation or a conflict or an obstacle. It's just that, again, we're going back to that emotional piece, is that death comes in for that change. And that's really when you're going to see that big change. That wheel is really going to shift in the third week. Death is going to come in and clean out your closet. He's going to come in and take what is not working so that you do have space to move on. In the end of November, you're going to see that you're going to have that ability to make some of these great changes that you've been hoping for. You're going to have that space because death is coming in. Things are going to make a lot more sense after it has, because you're going to have more ability to process and comprehend and reach out. So it's quite the next 3 weeks you're having, Aries. Let's look at how we can kind of bridge these things. What can my Aries friends do during the first week to work on their intuition and their emotions, that interpersonal skills? How can they overcome the challenges of the King of Cups? And that's the Page of Wands. Instead of that full knowing, we have that childlike, innocent, playful energy. You need to take a step back. Taking a step back and focusing in, instead of on that interpersonal stuff, focusing in on those passions, that play, will really help you get through that first week. Because that first week is going to be a challenge. Interpersonal stuff, relationships are going to really be hard because your emotions are going to be swinging. You're going to feel like you're on a roller coaster. When you take a step back and you don't have other energies at play, then you're going to find that play and need to find out more information about stuff. That inquisitive mind will keep you occupied opposed to people. Have fun, a little bit of reclusing the first week, and you're going to find that the first week will go by quickly, and you're going to actually start to work on some of this. When that passion piece, that learning piece, that's going to be really helping the wheel out, and you're going to find that you're going to have more fulfillment in the first week if you're focusing in on your passions rather than people. And if your passions are people, that's when you read up about stuff. There is lots of fantastic information out there. Hit the books, take some alone time, recoup, rest, rejuvenate. Let's look at the second week. What can my Aries friends do the second week of Mercury retrograde to overcome the Ace of Pentacles and that challenge that is brought forth then? The World. She's the 20th card in the Major Arcana. She talks about ends and beginnings. She's known as the Dancer. You need to take that world perspective, that bigger picture perspective. Sometimes we can't avoid the decisions that we need to make. It's taking that time to really reflect and critically think on that situation or situations. They may not be as lucrative as you had hoped. So taking that into consideration. So if they aren't as lucrative, how much will you lose? What are you willing to gamble? Let's look at that final week. What is the final week of Mercury retrograde? How can my Aries friends overcome that challenge of facing death and change? the King of Swords. Like I said before, the kings are that fully developed personality. This is the first sword we have in this reading. Swords are about truth and knowledge. You need to let go of that emotional piece, like I said, and you need to focus in on that knowledge piece. Death isn't coming for everything. Death isn't coming for you. Death is coming for the stuff that isn't working. Similar to the fact that winter's coming for us. We can't control that. It doesn't want to harm us. It wants to kind of reset and rejuvenate the world. Give that rest time. So that's what death wants to do. It wants to reset you. Take the knowledge that you need, because the death isn't going to take the knowledge piece. It's going to take the stuff that isn't working. Have faith that you're not going to lose what you really need. It's not going to be in a total reboot or erase. It's more of a reset. Defragging your computer and letting things go. So we have dueling kings here. The King of Swords, the King of Cups. In angel messages, when you're looking at multiple kings like that, or multiple 14s, as though the 14th card in the minor arcana, it symbolizes a message of love and spiritual growth. Even though Mercury retrograde impacts our ability to connect with others and communicate, it doesn't stop us from growing. And it may impact our ability to connect in with our guides and our guardians and the high vibrational beings. However, we can start to really look at that knowledge piece, as knowledge will help us move forward. And that's really what we're talking about. This isn't going to be a time to connect in with people. This is really going to be a time for you to really take heed and get more knowledge. Get yourself prepared for that next step. All right, let's look at what that main support over the next 3 weeks is going to be for my Aries friends. It's a beautiful card. The Page of Cups. We've got another page. This page is about intuition and emotions. What's going to really help, not only with the knowledge piece, but that aspect of play. Have fun. Don't just sit and read books. Start trying things. Dabble in things. Have some fun. Get your hands dirty. Connect into that energy of inquisical mind. Because what works for one person in a book may not work for you. You may have to take pieces of here and there. Enjoy. Have fun. That's going to really help. Yes, we dread Mercury retrograde. We know what can happen. That past knowledge is there. But that doesn't mean that we can't shift energies. What you put out is what you're going to get back in. You put that playful, fun, inquisical mind forward, and that's what you're going to get back in spades here. Now in angel messages, we've got 11s. Pages are the 11th card in the minor arcana. When you've got multiple 11s, the angel messages is to listen deeply to your intuition. 11 is a master number. So it's going to be really important that you try to connect in. You may have some challenges, but listen to that little soft voice in the back of your mind. Follow your gut instinct. Let's look at any final information, relevant information that will help my Aries friends overcome and get through Mercury retrograde. The 8 of Cups. 8s are about movement and manifestation. Cups, intuition, and emotion. The 8 of Cups is a travel card. It's a movement card. It talks about going inwards, that inner travel, that inner journey. And that's what we really need to do here. We need to connect into that knowledge piece and kind of pull ourselves out of that Lyme life and connect in. Start learning more about you and what you've kind of put in your closet, things that you know death is coming for, that you don't want. Kind of put it in a box. See if you can set it out for death. See if he'll take it for you. That's going to help, and that will help you move through Mercury retrograde at, I'd say, a better space, But let's be honest, Mercury retrograde impacts everything from people to computers. So it's really about kind of taking it one step at a time and really focusing in on those positives. Let's see what your shadow self wants to add. That's the Nine of Pentacles. Nines are about all that hard work, all that you've created in your life. Pentacles is about that growth and abundance. Your shadow self wants you to remind yourself that you have come a long way. You've created a lot in your life. Be proud of what you've created and just take it slow. Especially during that second week, there's risks of, I don't want to say bad decisions, but decisions that may not be as well informed as that you had initially had thought. Just remember how far you've come and how much you've achieved. Take it slow over the next 3 weeks, and you're going to find that things move a lot better for you. Let's look at a blessing. What blessing do my Aries friends have for the Mercury retrograde in October? The Black Cat. Lost magic, atonement, and rebalancing. It's going to be really the rebalancing piece. It's really going to be about that understanding. Black cats are so misunderstood. They have such pop culture and stereotype against them. Don't fall into that stereotype. Don't push yourself into a corner, and don't allow people to push you into a corner. This is going to be more about an individual journey. Cats are going to be a big part of that for you. You're going to be able to, if you will, see like a cat in the darkest of places. For those who wish, you can pause the video here and reflect on the cards. This is a group reading, however, I drew these cards for my Aries friends. What further information do the cards share with you? Like I said, this is a group reading. If you're looking for a more personal or specific reading, you can follow the link below and schedule a private reading with myself. And those who are interested, I will be running online introductory and interactive classes on Zoom over the next couple of months. The first class is on November 11th, where I'll be running my Introduction to Angels and Archangels class. Then on December 9th, I'll be running my Introduction to Connecting, which is a channeling class. If you're interested in both or either of these classes, you can find out more information and register on my website. Below, I've provided a link to my classes page, so you can go there directly and check it out. I hope that you found this video fun and helpful, and that you were able to gain some direction and insight into Mercury retrograde. I want to thank you so much for spending time with me today and watching this video. I will continue to create fun and dynamic and insightful videos for my zodiac friends. If you have any thoughts or suggestions, please feel free to leave them below. I'm always up for feedback from my friends. If you like this video, please remember to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest content. You never know where I'm gonna go next, and I'd hate for you to miss a video. Also, if you like this video and want to support me in making more, I have a Patreon page with many tiers and lots of perks. In some of the tiers, the perks are private readings with myself. I provided a helpful link below as well, so why not go check it out. Until tomorrow, my Aries friends.